thank you all for coming. Our first expedition this year is called Rules to Live By. The guiding questions are, what is our rule to live by, and how will this rule help you?
The sixth graders at King Middle School in Portland, Maine, have just finished their expedition, Rules to Live By, and are showcasing their final product at a culminating event. Each student created a poster describing their rule to live by, paired with the story of an inspiring world leader. The major writing goal for students was to create a well-constructed leader paragraph with a claim and supporting evidence based upon research of their leader. To get high-quality writing from every student, social studies teacher Bobby Shaddox and language arts teacher Karen MacDonald created a highly structured sequence of instruction that helped their 80 students from diverse backgrounds stay on track. Students used a series of graphic organizers, models, progress trackers, and rubrics to guide them through the stages of writing. We've created 2 short videos that capture how Bobby and Karen scaffolded the writing process, beginning with this video focused on organizing research and making claims from evidence and looking at research models, as well as a second video highlighting strategies for keeping students on track and on target throughout the writing process.
The Do Now is projected on the screen, the instructions for the Do Now.
We have a very diverse group of 6th graders. We have students who are just learning English alongside students who come to school already with those academic skills. For a lot of our students, this is their first time writing a paragraph, having to write a claim and evidence from several sources.
You'll notice that we have the research process for this expedition up here on the board, right? It's a flow chart. And I added this flow chart to help us all see where we are. That's why this
I use flow charts to see where students were at in the research and writing process. It also gave me a tool to help me know which students needed support. What was it called?
How dare the Taliban take away my basic grades?
We wanted students to understand that when writers do research, they're looking for evidence that's aligned with the story they want to tell.
Can we see that she did something here?
Mm-hmm.
And did that relate to the challenge?
Yeah.
So did we find our action?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
No problem.
The graphic organizer we created for the research process was set up to help students track challenges, actions, and outcomes of their leaders, along with a column for synthesizing their ideas.
Whoops. Oh, God. There's no current claim in all these details.
So the real challenge was for students to actually collect a body of evidence that led to their claim.
Because I don't want you to lose your thinking here. Why don't you get another graphic organizer and write some other pieces of evidence, and then see if you can find a connection between 3 pieces of evidence that would then allow you to connect the details and make a claim.
I think Bill Gates' rule to live by is always do what you do for the right cause, because he's always doing the right thing. Healthcare in third world countries and education and stuff like that, really amazing stuff.
With their research largely wrapped up and organized, the 6th grade team moved on to models of writing, evaluating and charting the qualities of well-organized paragraphs.
I have a paragraph here that I wrote about Cesar Chavez. I've got a problem though, you guys. What? The whole paragraph got mixed up and sliced into little slips, okay?
I decided to make a puzzle for my classes. By scrambling a well-written paragraph and adding a couple of curveball sentences to the mix, my students were able to analyze a model of good writing and draw connections between their supporting details and the claim.
I think we don't need the death one. Like about him dying. Maybe we could take this one out or take this one.
I think that's important. I think these two might be these two might be the same.
But they're sort of talking about different things.
I was surprised at how hard this was for many students. They could talk about their choices, but in many cases, they weren't making the best choices.
I feel like
This one's not.
What is this? What's the gist of
This one's not. This one's not.
And it was also obvious to us that our students needed more instruction on the body of a paragraph and how to sequence the evidence. So we went back to the model.
I'd like you to label the following. We're going to do step number 1. So if you can, find the claim, circle it, then underline evidence that supports the claim. So now what I'd like you to do is turn to with your partner, what are some things that make this a strong paragraph?
It makes it better because he has most of the topic. He has like a lot of evidence.
It has claim, evidence, and conclusion.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I think it's like in sequence order.
Yeah.
And along the way, we charted our ideas about how we could make our paragraphs as strong as they could be.
And this poster can then serve as a reminder to all of us as we're writing our paragraph what we're striving for.
These criteria inform the rubrics that we would use to guide and assess the student's writing.
So hands up, I'm going to try to get around to everybody.
Evidence is in order / sequence.
Evidence is in order / sequence. Dylan?
It shows specific evidence of his.
Shows specific evidence. How do you know?
When we were shifting from research to writing, we designed our writing organizer to help students synthesize everything they've been working on. Making strong claims, choosing the strongest evidence, and sequencing their leader paragraph well.